a massive F1 scandal has exploded again right in the heart of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The FIA finally handed down one of the biggest verdicts of the year. Both McLaren cars were running outside technical regulations, and the teams may have known it long before the race ended. Overnight, suspicion turned into investigation, and what seemed like a dominant run from Norris and Piastri suddenly transformed into one of the most explosive controversies of the modern era. And now, with new evidence surfacing and McLaren's internal radio messages raising even more eyebrows, the entire paddock is asking the same haunting question. Was this cheating something they did only once in Las Vegas? Or has this hidden strategy been helping them dominate for much longer than we realised? The FIA's follow-up investigation is ongoing. Fans are demanding answers, and this scandal might just reshape the championship fight in a way no one saw coming. Before we dive into this shocking unravelling of events, make sure you subscribe, because this is one video you absolutely cannot afford to miss. The scandal that erupted after the Las Vegas Grand Prix is not just another technical breach, it is a chain reaction that has shaken the 2025 Formula One season to its core. What began as a routine post-race inspection ended with the FIA uncovering excessive plank wear on both McLarens, instantly disqualifying Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. But the real shock came when reports indicated McLaren officials may have known something was wrong long before the stewards even called them in. And from that single revelation, an entire web of hidden clues, strange radio messages, and suspicious performance patterns began to unravel. Let's start from the fundamentals. The plank, a simple wooden board running under the car, is one of the most tightly monitored components in Formula One. Its purpose is to prevent teams from running their cars too low to the ground, which would generate more downforce and give a massive performance advantage. The rule is clear: more than 1 millimeter of extra wear, and it's an automatic disqualification. No argument, no exception. According to the FIA's measurements in Las Vegas, Norris exceeded the limit by 1.12 millimeter, while Piastri breached it by 0.126 millimeter. Both figures are undeniable violations, but the striking part is that 8 other cars in the top 10, including teams battling the exact same bumps on the Vegas streets, had no such issue. On paper, McLaren insisted this was caused by unexpected porpoising, paired with limited practice data due to wet sessions and yellow flags. Team principal Andrea Stella claimed they were blindsided by severe bouncing during the race that wasn't present during practice. But this explanation immediately raised questions. If the issue only appeared during the race, how did both cars end up showing near identical symptoms? And why did the team behave in a way that suggests they were managing a known problem? Because this is where the radio messages begin to tell a very different story. Throughout the race, both Norris and Piastri received repeated instructions to lift and coast at very specific corners: turns 5, 11, and 17. At first glance, it resembled standard fuel-saving protocol. Vegas is a long, high-energy circuit, and fuel management isn't unusual. But as the laps went on, the messages became oddly targeted. Norris was told exactly where to lift, even when the team confirmed fuel looks okay now. Why keep lifting if the fuel wasn't the problem? That's when F1 analysts began proposing a newer, more alarming theory. The fuel-saving message was a decoy to avoid exposing the real issue: plank wear. By slowing the car at specific compression points on the track, McLaren could reduce the bottoming out that was scraping away their plank. The goal wasn't fuel conservation at all. It was mechanical survival. And this theory grows even more convincing when looking at Norris's pace. On lap 45, he sat just 5.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen. By the time he crossed the finish line 5 laps later, he was over 20 seconds adrift, a dramatic collapse with no reported mechanical issue or strategic misstep. This wasn't performance degradation. This was damage control. Even Red Bull noticed the bizarre radio patterns. When McLaren told Norris, "Let's go get Max, but continue with lifts in 17, 5 and 11," Verstappen was immediately warned mid-lap. His engineer said, "Lando has been told to come and get you. He is saving in turns 17, 5 and 11. The information made no sense if fuel wasn't the problem. But it makes perfect sense if McLaren was desperately trying to limit further plank wear without alerting rival teams listening in. But perhaps the most suspicious detail of all is what wasn't said on the radio. At no point, not even once, did McLaren tell Norris or Piastri that they suspected a plank issue. Not during the race, not during the slow-down laps, not even in coded language. Many believe this means the drivers were informed earlier, possibly during reconnaissance laps, where cameras and microphones can't capture private discussions. This would also explain Norris's cautious, almost rehearsed responses post-race. It was as if he already knew something wasn't right. And fans didn't miss these clues. Social media exploded with theories accusing McLaren of running their car too low throughout the season, only getting caught now because the Vegas street surface is uniquely punishing. Some believe the team intentionally disguised the problem with fuel messages. Others argue the team panicked mid-race when the plank wear became too severe to hide. Piastri's and Norris's interviews did little to calm suspicion. Both expressed frustration and disappointment, but neither firmly denied the possibility that the team had misjudged their setup. Even more telling, Piastri acknowledged that they were always looking at where we can gain performance, a phrase many interpreted as a hint toward aggressive ride height strategies. And the consequences? Devastating. Before the disqualification, Norris seemed ready to all but seal his first World Championship. After Las Vegas, the standings detonated. Norris 390, Piastri 366, Verstappen 366. The two challengers are now tied, 24 points behind the Briton, with 2 rounds and 58 points remaining. The title fight has been reborn overnight. What was once a smooth championship run for McLaren has now become a storm of uncertainty, scrutiny and pressure, with the FIA continuing its deeper investigation into why this issue was discovered so late and whether McLaren had been skating close to the limit for much longer than anyone realised. The Las Vegas Grand Prix didn't just change the leaderboard. It changed the entire storyline of the 2025 season. So, with just 2 rounds left and the standings tighter than ever, the 2025 championship is now a 3-way knife fight. Norris leading by 24 points, with Verstappen and Piastri locked together behind him. The momentum has shifted, the pressure has skyrocketed, and every lap from this point forward could decide the title. So here's my prediction. If McLaren can stabilise the car and avoid further technical issues, Lando Norris still has the strongest chance to win the 2025 World Championship. But if McLaren cracks under pressure, or if another technical drama strikes, then Max Verstappen becomes the most dangerous threat, He thrives in chaos. And don't underestimate Oscar Piastri either. If he finds form in Qatar, he could steal critical points from both rivals and turn this into a historic upset. But those are just my thoughts. Who do you think will become the 2025 F1 World Champion? Verstappen, Norris, or Piastri? Let me know in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our other interesting and dramatic F1 videos.